Hi, I'm Daniel Amesbury, the king of the rink from Ice Wars, and this is I Only Touch Greatness.
Looking for the most beers on tap?
Great steaks, great staff? Head over to the John B. Pub.
We got the best beers, steaks, chicken wings, nachos in town. Come see us at the John B. Pub.
The John B. Pub, the best bar in town. Come sign up for our football pool. Say Hayes sent you.
Turn it up.
The #1 sports podcast in Vancouver with Ryan Hayes and Big Mike.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike. I never stop. I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Ryan Hayes and Big Mike are taking over the podcast scene in Vancouver. Get down or lay down. Lay down.
Later on in this game.
Well, here we go. Daniel Amesbury and Brad Pulowski dropping gloves. Pulowski hammering away at the back of the head, tying up into the boards. Amesbury starts to answer, trading haymaker after haymaker. Neither man going down, still tied up and throwing punches. Pulowski with an uppercut, but Amesbury answers with a right. As they continue to go at it, Amesbury lands another and another.
Okay, so over to Maple Ridge. What was childhood like for you growing up?
I was pretty good. Like I had a good family and stuff like that. I was lucky enough to have a good family and whatnot, upbringing. It was interesting though. I think in Maple Ridge, we definitely were a little bit more blue collar. I went to like a little bit of a redneck high school, Garibaldi to start. I went to a few different schools, but there's lots of fights when I was younger. Lots of, it was just kind of the thing to do on the weekend. We'd go out and party it up, and then we'd always just end up fighting. I don't know. It just kind of started in grade 8. We'd go to the Flames, the junior hockey games, junior B games. And we never really watched the games. We'd go watch the first period, maybe. Our parents would drop us off there, and then we'd all just go outside and drink and party and then fight. So that was kind of a weekend thing. But Maple Ridge was, I'd call it a pretty tough town growing up. I'm sure you kind of know the same thing in Coquitlam and stuff. It was kind of culturally like that too, I think, out there. So I got to give that town some credit on what I'm doing now, for sure.
And what were some of the sports you played growing up?
So I played baseball, mostly baseball and hockey were pretty much like the two sports that I played consistently. My dad was a ball player. He played a little bit of hockey, but he was more a ball player. I was probably, I would say, better at baseball for sure than hockey. But I just liked the contact in hockey. It was a little more exciting for me, a little bit faster pace. And then where baseball sometimes is a little slow, but I definitely excelled at it and I did well. But it was pretty much just baseball and hockey for me as a kid anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you always want to play hockey?
Yeah. Like I started young, and then hockey was just, it was the most exciting for me. I always had interest in some other, like I had interest in other contact sports, like, and then as I got old, I ended up playing lacrosse, but lacrosse didn't start actually till I was 21, which a lot of people don't know. So.
Okay. Yeah. By that time you're already kicking ass.
Yeah. And I was pretty well into my career at that point. I think I was actually already playing hockey in the States. I think I may have played my first pro season. I can't remember. But no, it was the year before my first pro season. So junior hockey was coming to an end. Is actually the story about lacrosse is actually really funny because, like I said, I didn't play lacrosse when I was young. I was fighting lots in junior hockey, kind of was well known to be a fighter. And I loved it. Everybody knew I liked it. And then I had a friend that was playing junior A lacrosse, and he was also playing pro lacrosse. He just played his first pro season in the NLL, and the way they're in opposite times of year. So you can still play junior in the summer and play pro in the winter kind of thing. Yeah. So he had gotten knocked out like in the NLL by a big dude, like a really tough guy. So when he was coming back to play junior, he was like, I don't want to fight too much this year. Right. So I ran into him at Roosters actually. And he's like, hey, you should come play lacrosse this season. Come play lacrosse. And I'm like, yeah, like whatever. We're drinking and partying. And I was like, yeah, I'll play, whatever, I'll play. And he plays junior A. Like I've never played lacrosse in my life. And so he convinces me, he's like, yeah, you're going to come play. I'm going to get my coach to phone you. He's like, just make sure when he calls you, you tell him that you used to play lacrosse. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And then I kind of forgot about it, obviously, because we were drinking and partying, whatever. Yeah. And then about a week later, I got a phone call. It's like, hey, this is Daniel Perreault. I'm the coach of the New Westminster Salmon Bellies Junior A team. Is this Daniel? I was like, yeah, it is. And then we start talking and he's like, oh, so I heard you used to play lacrosse. I was like, yeah, I used to play when I was a kid. Like, I swear at this point, I held a lacrosse stick. I threw a ball a couple times, but I never played a game.
That counts.
Yeah, right. So then he's like, oh, I want you to come try out, blah, blah. We you'd be a good fit. I think we could probably turn you into a lacrosse player. So I was like, okay, whatever. And then I ended up going to tryouts, didn't know what I was doing, running around like a meathead, just trying to fight everybody. I ended up having to change jerseys so I could fight a guy on my own team in the scrimmage just because nobody would fight me. And then I ended up making the team. So then I played, that was my first season of lacrosse ever. I played junior A when I was 21. It was my last junior year. And then the next year we were going into senior and I got drafted 11th overall. And then I actually learned the game and stuff like that. And I've been playing lacrosse ever since. I think it's been, I don't know how many years it's been now, but almost 10 years now. So
yeah, you're still playing. Now you're playing senior A, I think.
Yeah, I play senior A for Langley Thunder right now. I haven't played any games yet this season, but I'm actually going to practice tonight and then probably get on the floor one or two more times. I'll probably play the next game.
Okay, yeah. I'm often around lacrosse, but there's a bunch through a bunch of people. Yeah, through a bunch of people, right? There's a couple other teams. Who's your favorite hockey player growing up?
I gotta go Bob Probert. Bob Probert. Yeah. I don't know. Like there's so many guys, there's so many, fun players to watch. But just first thing that comes to mind, no questions, is Bob Probert. Just what he did was unbelievable. He was so tough, and yeah, definitely number one, top of the list.
Are you old enough to ever have played at the old Cam Neely rink in Maple Ridge that had the chain link?
I remember it. I don't remember like playing on it or anything, but I remember it really well. Like I remember the corners and stuff like that. Like I remember like that whole facility, you know, like you go in. I remember one time with my dad picking up my sister from the dance and stuff, like down the little set of stairs there. So I don't remember playing there at all. Like I don't even remember being on the ice, but I definitely remember the barn.
Yeah, because that's more like my time. Back when I would play hockey against Maple Ridge, it was on the chain link fence.
Yeah, right? Pretty crazy.
If you're having a dream dinner party and you can invite 3 famous people, dead or alive, who do you want to bring?
Oh, man. I don't know.
For example, I go Tupac. Seth Rogen would be fun to smoke with and have some fun.
For sure.
Being from Vancouver. And then I like to go Paulina Gretzky.
Paulina Gretzky's a good one.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I'd have to throw in Megan Fox probably.
Okay.
I might go with 3 chicks, honestly. No, I'm just kidding.
That's probably the right answer.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably Megan Fox for sure. Probably throw in, I don't know, man. I think Johnny Depp's got some clout. I'll go with Johnny Depp right now. Yeah. He's got some clout. I'd like to pick his brain. He seems like an interesting guy.
Yeah. Learn what not to do.
Yeah. Maybe him and Boston George and Megan Fox.
Okay. That's a good one. Okay. And
I don't know. I'm not really I'm not really a fan, but like I don't really follow I don't watch too many movies. I'm not really, there's even like favorite player in the NHL kind of threw me like obviously Probert, but yeah.
Okay. Well, you got a few of those questions coming, so got those little quick stumpers for you. Well, so when you were auditioning for King of the Ice, did they get a hold of you or did you have to submit tapes?
No, I reached out right away. Like AJ will tell you, like as soon as I caught wind that they were talking about doing it, they hadn't even committed to doing it yet. AJ just put out a video, said, "Hey, we're thinking about doing this," you know, like basically threw out a feeler. And like immediately I hit him up like on Instagram. I think it was the Danbury Trashers page. And I hit him up right away. Yeah, nice. That's sick. I seen that. Yeah. Unreal.
Autographed by AJ and his dad.
Nice. That's a beauty. I need one of those.
I had AJ on the podcast. He was lots of fun.
Hey guys, how are you? This is AJ Galante, former president of the Danbury Trashers, and I'm coming up on the I Only Touch Greatness podcast with my buddies.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I was looking like you have some pretty like some legends on this podcast, man. Gracie, that's huge.
Yeah, that's one of them. We've had Shamrocks and a bunch of
super
good ones.
Cool.
And on Instagram, I only put the big name ones once a week, kind of thing. I don't want to annoy people, but you don't want to. Yes, but we're releasing episodes almost like daily.
Cool.
But to the YouTube and the website, just
nice.
Keep her going. We like to do a lot of hockey prospects and stuff coming up. So, what was AJ like in real life? I mean, I've seen him and talked with him over the screen, but
he was a beauty. He's a good dude. Like he's everything I expected. Really respectful, really like loyal dude. You can just tell, you just know, like for me, coming from where I come from, like I say, it was a little bit maybe of a rougher upbringing. I got into some trouble for a bit, but I did find a lot of loyal people along a dark road. And I feel like I was really comfortable with AJ because I think maybe he came from a little bit of the same place and he's just loyal. You can just tell, you know, he's a good dude. He cares about the fighters. It's not like you're not dealing with Don King here. You're dealing with like a team guy. Like he wants us all a part of it and stuff. So that was a really good thing. He met my whole family. He met my kids, met my parents. It was pretty cool. It was a good experience. I was really happy to meet him.
And do you get a chance to defend the crown?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's the game plan.
Right.
At the end. Yeah, at the end of the last one, Morasti came out and challenged me. So, I mean, I hope that's what's going to happen. Like, you know, if not him, like hopefully someone else wants a piece because I think that, you know, I don't mind if I have to do another tournament, but at the end of the day, like I think I'd rather just defend the crown and hopefully do it with somebody that's got some serious credibility. Like I don't care. I'll fight anybody. I'll do the tournament again too, but I would love to fight Morasti. I think that'd be sick. I think it'd be a good fight. I think it'd be good for the entertainment value, because me and him, our style matchup would just be unbelievable to watch, because we're just both run and gun, bang, bang and go, right? So
yeah, that was one of my questions, was going to be who would your dream fight be?
Fuck, it's been Morasti for a long time, and it's funny. I told him that if you watch the fights or whatever, he came out and he challenged me. He said, "Let's do it next Ice Wars, whatever." And then you could see me go and say something to him after. And I was literally saying "Hey dude, I've wanted to fight you since I was 15. That might sound crazy, right? But I've even when I was playing in the Central League and stuff, I thought maybe I'd come across him, right? But I just wasn't down there soon enough. If I would have got down there quicker, maybe. But probably good it didn't happen when I was young anyways, because I was still wet behind the ears. I didn't really know what I was doing yet. But definitely I would say Morasti, man. Dream fight. Yeah. I would have said Morasti 10 years ago.
And you were once called the CHL toughest player of the year. I heard him announce that when you were walking out, right?
Yeah, I think that was 2012 or 2013 or something like that. But they did they gave out all these different awards, and I got toughest pound for pound in the league, which was pretty cool.
And does somebody help you prepare for this Ice Wars and stuff? Do you have to?
Yeah,
train?
I mean, I trained lots. I trained at my friend's gym down the road, which is a hockey facility. So I was doing, Riley Maru helped me do all my lifting and stuff like that in the early stages, especially when I was trying to put on more muscle. And then I was boxing with a couple different people. Rob Del Pena at Savard Boxing, and then Caleb Starnes, who fought in the UFC. Yeah, I think he had 7 UFC fights. He's on the Ultimate Fighter. Caleb's really high level MMA. Super talented. He helped me a lot. I'm still working with him today. This morning I did, we do boxing and then Greco-Roman wrestling and some stand-up, just some grappling stuff like that. So I didn't do any Greco-Roman wrestling, at the last camp, but this camp I'm really trying to get creative and trying to learn new things. So I'm going to do a lot of Greco-Roman, a lot of different stand-up grappling and stuff like that. But I did my first Greco-Roman today, and I could already tell it's going to be a huge help at the next Ice Wars. So,
yeah, Caleb, if I remember right, he's the one that walked out, right? But and he's from here. He walked out at the end of his career.
Yeah, he had a pretty sour ending with the UFC. Yeah. Dana White doesn't really like him, that's for sure.
Oh, I bet. I forgot that he was a local guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on too. Yeah, I'm sure he'd do it. I've been friends with Caleb for a long time, just through boxing and stuff like that. I'd run into him at the boxing gym, and then he was one person that helped me a lot during the fight, just sharpened my punches up and stuff like that. So
was that real ice or fake ice you guys were on? Because it looked like
it was synthetic.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but it was pretty good synthetic. I trained on synthetic because I knew we were going to be on it. So I got on some just to see what it was like. And it was terrible. And I was like, this is going to be, I was concerned about the quality of fights and stuff, right? It's a little bit better when you hang on to each other because you're a little bit twice as stable. But when I got on that synthetic, I was pretty pleasantly surprised. It was a lot better than any stuff that I've skated on before. It was a lot more slippery, a lot more glide to it. So it wasn't too bad. I think the guys will get used to it and stuff over time as well. But it was pretty good synthetic.
The chaos that you were talking on that in your first fight against Parker, being the smaller guy, was it hard to stay up? He kind of ragdolling you a bit, but
he was strong. He was throwing me around a bit. I was still trying to get my bearings and stuff like that. The thing is, he's been fighting all year. I don't even think he's stopped fighting. That guy's been playing. He's been playing hockey for I don't know how many years. I don't even know if he took a year off. But I think it just took me a minute to kind of find my balance and just like I say, I had a couple fights this season because I was as soon as I found out about Ice Wars, I started playing senior hockey. And then I had a couple fights, but it wasn't enough to get back into the swing of things. So it took me a little bit. He's strong. All those guys are strong. But once I got my footing and felt a little bit more comfortable, I don't think he was even really punching me down. I think maybe one time he punched me down, but most of the times I went down, he was just pushing me or I slipped or whatever. So, but he definitely won the first round. I'll give him the first round for sure.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering about the ice too, because it looked like it was hard for you to stand up on. Like,
yeah. Well, like I'm a pretty strong skater, so I think I was like trying to skate around a bit more than some of the other guys too. Like those guys were kind of just creeping out and just grabbing on, like not trying not to move too much. Whereas I was trying to like move around and stuff like that. And yeah, it took me a minute to figure out, but once I got it, I felt pretty good.
Do you go into every fight thinking you're gonna win?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna win.
Yeah. Okay. So when it came to the judges, were you a little worried or no?
Yeah. 100%. In that first fight, I came back into my corner after the first round, and my corner was good. I had Ken LaCusta. He fought Larry Holmes, George Foreman, Tommy Morrison. Like, I don't even know how many Hall of Famers this guy fought. He was Mike Tyson's sparring partner. So yeah, I had Ken LaCusta in my corner and Tony Badea. Tony Badea was 2-time Canadian national champ. I think Ken LaCusta was 3-time Canadian champ. And then I had Rob Del Pena. They're all pro boxers, right? So I had pretty high level guys in my corner. So that helped a lot too. And I came back into my corner and all of them, they're like, you lost the round. This is after the first round. And I kind of knew that. And I was like, okay, fuck. They're like, you have to win this round. Like, you have no choice but to win this round. If you don't win this round, you're done. Your night's over. You're going home. Yeah. So I knew that. And then when I came out, I thought, like, I was like, you know what? I thought I won the round, but it was a lot closer, I think, than the first round. Like, I could have maybe done 10-8 Parker in the first round and then 10-9 me in the second or something like that. I don't know. Like, it was that close where I was like, fuck. So when we went to the judges, I was a little bit worried because I was like, you know, and especially Parker being the veteran he is, if it was, let's say, so close to being a draw and the judge was going to go one way or the other, in my head, I was like, well, why wouldn't the judge go to Parker instead of me? Because he's the veteran guy. He would deserve it more than me, blah, blah. So the wheels turned a little bit at that point. Once they said it was an extra round, I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, I knew I was winning the fight. So
the second fight, what were your feelings on that one? I just tip it.
Tippin's a beauty. He's a good dude. I was talking to him a lot before the fights. I was honestly like, I felt like after I got through Parker, I had a bit more momentum. I was gassed, obviously. I went into the dressing room, recovered, started to feel better. I got into Tippin. My original plan was I was just going to bang with him. That was pretty much my plan with everybody. Just bang him out and see how it goes. If I have to change something up, I'll change it up. Like, I got lots of different styles, so I'm able to do that. So I came in with Tippin right away, tried to bang with him, and he caught me like immediately off the bat. And I was like, and then I like put my helmet on, like my corner's doing my helmet up. And they're like, stay away from him, create space. Like in boxing, you would kind of jab him and keep him away, jab him, keep him away, right? So I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, well, in boxing, you're going to throw a punch and keep him away. But in hockey fighting, you kind of got to grab on. So I'm thinking, create space. Well, how can I create space in hockey? So I grabbed him and strung him out. I grabbed his inside arm and I kept him away. And then I kind of spun away from him and just was like, that's how I'm going to create space. And I'm just going to exchange with him that way. And then I ended up catching him very like flush right on the nose with a big haymaker. And that was it, done. Yeah. And then the ball was really rolling after that because I knew it was a short. I had lots of time to recover. I felt good. So at that point, you could have put fucking George LaRocque in front of me. I didn't care.
Who would win in that fight?
Me.
All right. I had him on the show, actually.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, the finale, you kicked the guy's ass. I noticed you like to throw the uppercut. Is that your go-to?
No, not really, but it seemed to be effective. It worked well. I'm pretty like creative, and like I said, I can change things up. I got lots of different styles and stuff like that, but it's a punch that I worked on. It's a punch that I continue to work on, but I liked how it worked. I've thrown it lots in hockey and lacrosse. There's like, my whole thing is I like studying fighters. So like, I mean, all those guys that were at the fights that I fought, I've seen fight a bunch of times. Marassi, I've watched every Marassi fight. I've watched all the judges' fights, Wingfield, Mayrand. Like, I study guys, right? And then what I would usually do is if I find a very unique style, something a little bit different, I'll study it, figure out how they're doing it, and then I'll go say back in the day when I was playing hockey or lacrosse, whatever. And then I'd, after practice, grab someone and we'd be kind of messing around and I'd kind of practice these styles. And then maybe the next fight I get into, I would try it and see how it went. And so I've done this over the years for my whole career and been able to sharpen the pencil on a lot of different styles. So that uppercut, actually, I'd give credit. There's a guy named Andrew Suter. I don't know if you know him, in lacrosse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think
if you watch Andrew Suter's fights, he throws those creepy uppercuts and he leans back and they come out from under the armpit. Like you can't even see him coming because it kind of pops up under your arm out of nowhere because you're like this and it comes right through here and it's a dangerous shot. And so I would give that credit to him because that was one of the things that I kind of picked up watching him. And it's just a straight, it's not even really like a looping uppercut. Most uppercuts are kind of like a hook, like they hook up, whereas that one's kind of just a straight shot from the hip directly up. And it works pretty well. So it's definitely one of the many tricks I got on my hip for sure.
Yeah. What first thoughts that went through your head when he finally won?
Oh man, it was such a cool feeling because I worked so hard for it. I said I was going to do it. I had it done in my head already. And so it was just like, I was like, finally, I got paid. I got like, not paid money wise, like paid from the universe getting my win. I actually forgot about the money until it was like hours after someone reminded me I won money. But at that point, it was just absolutely happy and I just did what I said I was going to do. I worked my ass off. Everything paid off. I just remember taking my helmet off and I was pumped. It was like, it was a crazy, crazy feeling. And it is, unbelievable.
I was looking at some of your stats there. You had 413 penalty minutes in 2011 for Abbey. So that's a pretty good season for fights.
Yeah, well, I remember what happened it was near the end of the year. I think there was a newspaper article that came out in the Maple Ridge Times and it said, Daniel Amesbury, will he get 1,000 penalty minutes or something like that? And I was at like 900, I think I was at like 990, 985 or something like that. And I had 2 games left. So I needed a couple fights. And I played the one game. I ended up getting actually a 10-minute misconduct. The ref threw me out and I got a 10. So then I remember it was my last game of the year. We were going into playoffs. The other team wasn't. We were playing Mission. And I was trying to get this kid that I grew up with to fight me. I was like, man, you got to fight me. Come on, you got to fight me. He was a tough guy. He's a heavyweight. And he's like, oh, my coach said no. My coach said I'm not allowed to fight you because he knew I wanted the 1,000 PIMs. And his coach, he's like, no, nobody's allowed to fight you. Like they told me. And I was like, come on, man. Like, come on, you got to fight me. Come on, you got to fight me. And then finally there's like 10 minutes left in the game. And he comes up and he's like, all right, Ames, let's do it. And I was like, yes. All right. So then I was able to get my PIMs and I think I finished with 1,007 in 3 seasons.
Okay. That's what you were talking about. The 3 seasons. Yeah. Combined.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Good.
Yeah.
Who's the best player you ever played with and against?
Fuck.
It could be either sport, I guess.
Best player I played with. I don't know, man. I played with some good players, but I don't know. That's a hard question, man.
Okay.
I remember I played against, I think it was, I want to say Pierre Dagenet.
Okay, I remember that name.
Yeah, I played against him. I remember I played against him. Where was he playing? I think he was playing in Akwesasne or something. And something happened. Someone slashed him. And he came out, he said, watch this. He came out next shift and he shelved the puck from center ice. Shelved it. He's like, slash me again. Everybody's like, don't slash him. He literally just scored whenever he wanted.
Who's the toughest fight you've ever had? Like, let's keep it on the ice or lacrosse.
Scott, I would say, sorry, not Scott, Derek Parker, I think, honestly. Yeah, I have to say Parker, man. I got to give that guy the credit, man. That was a war. I've never been in a war like that. Like, I had to dig deep for that fight. So I'd say Parker for sure.
And you did play in the ECHL?
I played in the Central League. So we was right before the ECHL merged with the Central. So it was like the CHL, the ECHL was in 2, basically, at that point.
Okay, yeah, because Tucson?
Tulsa Oilers.
Yeah, Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So when I looked that up, it was ECHL now.
Yeah, they're in the coast now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so is that league basically what we all assume it is? We get the stories of the Goon movie, and you get stories of the Slapshot.
The Central League was fuck. So back then, it was like I say, there was 2 AA pro leagues. One was the East Coast and one was the Central. The Central League was 100% the tougher version of the two. There's a lot tougher guys. It wasn't an NHL affiliated league where the East Coast was. So you actually had a lot of guys that would come down. What happened was I got called up into that league during the NHL lockout.
Oh.
So there was during that, since we weren't affiliated with the ECHL or the NHL, there's a lot of guys coming from the NHL that were like, there's a few players that came right into the Central League that were playing. I remember Alex Martinez just won a Stanley Cup and I was playing against him. I think he was playing for Arizona. And, but what came with that was a lot of tough guys coming down the system. You know what I mean? Because any heavyweight in the NHL at the time was on a 2-way contract. So if there's a lockout, they're going down to the A. Yeah. So what does that do with all the AHL tough guys? It sends them down to the Central or the Coast. So that league was like extra tough that year. And I got called up. I think I was 22 or something like that at the time. So I was young, 22 or 23. And I was fighting all these AHL tough guys or whatever. So it was good. It was good experience and whatnot. But it was definitely a lot. You watched the NHL back then, and then you watch the Central League. Like, you get away with a hell of a lot more in our league. You know, you're hacking and slashing, lots of elbows, lots of high hits and stuff like that. And they kind of just let us play. So, which I liked.
Favorite jersey number?
34.
Favorite sports franchise?
I don't have one.
You have a favorite sports movie?
I gotta say Slapshot. It's hilarious.
Okay.
It's a classic.
Okay. And yeah, basically that's the last question. Oh, yeah, I got a couple more here. These ones are just quick response ones. These ones are for fun. So they're favorite cereal.
Fruit Loops.
Favorite Halloween costume.
Oh. I shouldn't say my favorite one that I wore, but
probably as a kid.
Elvis. I dressed up as Elvis. I was rollerblading. I remember killing it on the candy that year because I was on rollerblades.
Okay, that would help. Favorite actor or actress?
Shit. I like, honestly, Samuel L. Jackson. He's pretty legit.
Okay. And if you could go either deep space or deep sea or outer space?
Oh, I'd go outer space for sure.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Okay. If you had to eat pancakes or waffles for the rest of your life, which would you choose?
Waffles.
Okay. Friends or Seinfeld?
Seinfeld. No questions.
Okay. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Big booty or big breasts?
Big breast.
Okay. And if you had one superpower, what would it be?
To fly.
Okay. All right. So that's all the questions I got for you tonight. Cool.